Welcome back to the Best Finance Show, where we help you become your financial best. And today we're discussing AI-powered finance. Now, we've all heard of artificial intelligence, and we've seen what it's doing in many industries. But can artificial intelligence make you money? We're going to find out about that. We're also going to look at what some of the big banks are saying about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin all around the world. And we also look at the prices, look at what's going on in the market. Welcome back to the Best Finance Show, and do the right thing and make sure you subscribe. But let's start off here. What's going on with AI? What's happening? Take a look.
If you're anything like me, managing your personal finances might seem daunting. But imagine if there was an AI tool that could simplify it to the point of feeling as effortless as texting with a friend or browsing through a social media platform. Would that make a difference for you? But before we dive into this AI tool, let me give you some background on why AI is such a big deal in the finance industry. As you all probably know, AI has been advancing rapidly in recent months, thanks to the availability of huge amounts of data, powerful computing resources, and breakthroughs in algorithms and techniques. It has been transforming various sectors of the economy, such as healthcare, education, entertainment, and of course, finance. AI can now help financial institutions and consumers with tasks such as fraud detection, risk management, customer service, investment advice, and more. But AI can also help individuals with their personal finances, such as budgeting, saving, investing, and planning for their goals. But there is a problem. Most people don't have access to these AI tools or don't know how to use them effectively. That's where Wally comes in. Wally is a personal finance app that has been helping millions of users around the world since 2014. It helps you track your spending, set budgets, reach your goals, and get insights on finances. Wally has been rated #1 over 40 times by various publications and experts, such as Forbes, Economic Times, BBC, Investopedia, and more. It is constantly evolving and innovating to provide the best user experience and value. And that's why they have recently introduced a groundbreaking feature, Wally GPT, which is an AI assistant that can revolutionize your personal finance management. And it is powered by OpenAI's GPT-3. So what can Wally GPT do for you? Well, a lot of things. Let me give you some examples. First of all, it can answer any question you have about your finances. You can ask Wally GPT anything from simple queries like, how much did I spend on groceries last month, to complex ones like, how can I optimize my tax deductions? Or, what are the best investment options for my risk profile? It will give you clear, concise, and personalized answers based on your data and preferences. Then it can help you plan for your future. Whether you want to save for retirement, buy a house, travel the world, or pay off your debt, Wally GPT can help you create realistic and achievable plans that suit your needs and goals. You can ask it questions like, how much do I need to save for a wedding? Or, how long will it take me to pay off my student loan? Or, what are the best ways to grow my wealth? It will analyze your situation and recommend budgets and savings plans that work for you. Also, this AI tool can offer insights into investment opportunities and market trends. If you want to grow your money faster and smarter, it can help you find the best investment options for your portfolio. You can ask Wally GPT questions like, what are the best stocks to buy right now? Or, how is the cryptocurrency market doing? And it will give you data-driven and unbiased advice based on your goals and risk tolerance. Now, while the possibilities of tools like Wally GPT are certainly exciting, it's essential to consider the broader implications of this technology. We should reflect on the potential risks and downsides of relying so heavily on an AI tool for our financial management. For instance, even though AI models like this are highly advanced, they're not perfect and can make mistakes or overlook crucial nuances. They might not fully consider the unique and unpredictable aspects of our individual lives that could significantly impact our financial strategies. Similarly, the AI might not be able to pick up on sudden market changes or global financial disruptions as quickly as a seasoned financial advisor. Also, despite all security measures, cyber threats and privacy concerns are always a possibility in the digital world. It's essential to use these tools judiciously and complement them with regular financial check-ins with human experts and a conscious awareness of your financial situation. So while AI can certainly transform the way we handle our finances,
There you have it, guys. AI coming into finances. Now, the interesting thing about AI, when AI started, I want to know from you, what have you done with AI? When AI started, for me, it was just a chat box on your phone. You asked it a question, it gave you answers. It wasn't getting stuff right. And a lot of people have been developing AI stuff, and I've been looking into this and trying to understand it. And we've all been very one-sided because we're all using AI to do tasks that don't evolve or that don't engage our emotions. And when I saw this, I thought, this is interesting because the most emotional place that people, lose it is money, finances. People make emotional decisions. And imagine asking Wally, should I pay 14 cows for Lobola? Imagine asking Wally, should I have a wedding that's going to cost me this much? Imagine asking Wally, should I do December the way that South Africans do December? And I think this is a very interesting space that we're going into. And really what I'm doing is I'm still in research phase. Right now, I don't have all the answers. I'm researching, I'm understanding, but I want to know from you, what are your insights? What are your thoughts? What do you guys think about what's going on? Now, something very odd is going on in the cryptocurrency market. There's some positive news coming out of the cryptocurrency market, but the markets are not quite reacting correctly. And there's some news coming out of Morgan Stanley, a big bank in the US that's now allowing their customers to invest in Bitcoin. Take a look at this.
What can you tell us? What decision, what changes are Morgan Stanley and its team making here?
It's a pretty straightforward one, Brian. All across Wall Street, we have these wirehouses, whether they're Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, B of A's Merrill, or UBS. And they cater to people who are at least in the sort of single-digit million-dollar asset class, AUM class. And for the most part, these are people who are increasingly getting intrigued in Bitcoin. They look at the charts, as we've talked about on your shows before, and they're intrigued and they want exposure, and they want to do it through the safety of these wealth management platforms that are obviously well-regulated, well-controlled. And Morgan Stanley, being one of the biggest, if not the biggest, with $4 trillion in assets, has finally said, look, we are not going to decide whether or not this is necessarily a good or bad thing. We acknowledge that clients want this, and we're going to expedite this and allow this. We're going to allow them to do it through 3 third-party funds, 2 of them through Galaxy, obviously, and these are Mike Novogratz's firm, and another through another firm. And we're going to allow people to actually hold close to a direct ownership in Bitcoin, which is a new thing, for the world of Wall Street for sure.
I assume they would only do that, Hugh, because banks, sometimes have a profit motive. Just throwing that out there. If there was client demand.
The client demand is the motivating factor. They cited that, the sources I spoke to cited that directly. And so, you have people clamoring for it. And, it's not like there aren't other ways to get exposure to Bitcoin. If if you've got a few $1 million, you could do it directly. You could do it through Coinbase. You could do it through Coinbase Pro. You could do it through other things. And yet, if you are a high net worth individual and you've got all your other assets being held, in trust by Morgan Stanley or another firm, it really is much more clear and simple and succinct if you own it together and it's part of, a percentage of your overall holding. And by the way, Morgan Stanley, they're requiring people, capping people at 2.5%. So they think it's perhaps, an interesting, good idea to have a speculative investment in this, but they want you to do it at a maximum of 2.5%.
There you have it. We're seeing some very interesting information from one of the biggest banks in the world, $4 trillion under management. And they're allowing their wealth clients to be able to now invest in Bitcoin. And it might look small to you, but when we started off in the cryptocurrency industry, to get a bank to offer people Bitcoin was a myth, because people thought Bitcoin was never going to work out. People thought Bitcoin is too risky. And we're seeing today that banks are now changing their story. They're now allowing customers to invest in Bitcoin. This is quite huge, and I believe that it's going to impact the cryptocurrency market in a very interesting way. And here's the article. Morgan Stanley tells wealth advisors they can pitch Bitcoin ETFs in a first for a big bank. And this is what I always say. If big banks are allowing their customers to buy Bitcoin, what does that mean for you? Should you not be following this advice? And I think that's a question you need to ask yourself. But the firm's 15,000 or so financial advisors can now solicit eligible clients to purchase shares of 2 exchange-traded Bitcoin funds starting August the 7th, according to people with knowledge of the policy. These funds are BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust and Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund. Now, it's interesting because a lot of people are saying, well, when Bitcoin sort of started, the bankers were saying, well, this thing won't last. Cryptocurrency is not going to make it. It's a scam. And now we're seeing them turn around and offer it to clients. It just gets to shows that, sometimes when you start anything in life, people might speak against it, but if you persevere, it might just succeed. So that's going to be quite interesting. Now, the move from Morgan Stanley, which is one of the world's largest wealth management firms, is the latest sign of adoption of Bitcoin by mainstream finance. In January, the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission approved applications for 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, right now in the cryptocurrency market, there's something going on. I suspect that this has to do with the fact that the banks are coming. Because when banks now come in any market, of course, we're talking $4 trillion under management. So this is a lot of money. When lots of money comes into something, there's huge potential. And this is where it gets interesting to say, are you in? Are you not in? When should you get in? What should you be doing? And I think that's something interesting that we need to look at today. But before we do that, maybe let's just take some time and go into the markets and look at what's going on, because something shocking is going on in the cryptocurrency market. Now, this is CoinMarketCap. As all of you know, we use it to analyze and look at cryptocurrencies. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, in the last 7 days, it's dropped by 19%. You look at Ethereum, dropped by 26%. You look at BNB, dropped by 20%. Solana, dropped by 30%. And you look at XRP, dropped by 18%. Doge, dropped by 27%. Toncoin, dropped by 19%. Cardano by 22%. Tron by 10%. Avalanche by 28%. Shiba Inu by 23%. But the interesting thing is, we've just heard that the big banks are coming in on the 7th. So on the 7th, people are now going to be able to start investing. Well, wealthy people are going to start investing into cryptocurrency. But as of today, the market is down. Now, it's a no-brainer for me, and I want to know from you, what do you think? For me, I think right now is the time to be buying Bitcoin. Because if the markets have dropped by 19, 26%, 20%, remember, what we teach or what we speak about here, because we are not giving financial advice, we say you buy when the market is low and you sell when the market is high. Right now, if you look at the Bitcoin market, it's low. It's low. So if you buy when the market is low, you have an opportunity to sell when the market is high. Now, many people might say, but isn't it the other way around? No, money doesn't work like that. Money favors those that are fearless, those that go in when it's tough, when it's hot. They're the ones who tend to make a lot of money. Why? Because it tends to favor the brave. I think they say fortune favors the brave. So that's one thing. So I'm certainly going to be buying Bitcoin. I'm certainly going to be buying Ethereum. I'm certainly going to be buying Solana because they're currently low at the moment, and hoping that when the market starts to pick up, I will be in that picking up. So that's me. I don't know about you. Make sure that you do make an informed decision. But the interesting thing, and I want to show this because we're very non-biased at the Best Finance Show. If you look at the markets today, South African markets, they're also down. Naspers is down, Absa is down, Standbank is down, Process is down, G-Fields is down. So the markets are down in many places and all around the world, but there are a few that are going up, which I think is quite interesting. Here's some top stocks by price change. And as you can see there, but many of the big companies are down. But this is the juxtapose I want to show you. The crypto markets are all down, essentially. And some of the markets and stocks are up. And I thought that's an interesting juxtapose to look at to see how the two different markets actually perform. Now, it's interesting to understand that what we try and do here is to educate you, help you become accountable to your finances, and make sure that you're active. And I always say that don't watch the show if you're not involved. Make sure that you do sign up. You can sign up to OKX. My link is below. And just start. Even if it's with $100, even if it's with whatever you believe is small, start, but begin to learn how to manage your finances yourself. Manage your shares, manage your own, because it's a life lesson that you'll need to carry with you forever. Unless you are wealthy enough to hand it over to a wealth manager who will do it for you. But if you're trying to grow your wealth, I always advise to say, the way that I've seen many people talk about money is that they began to control and understand how money works. And that's how they actually became wealthy. So that's what we're trying to do here. Now, before we take it away, please make sure that you comment, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you leave a like on this. But I want to take you through to some interesting podcast conversations that I'll be having on the For This Reason podcast. And there's two specific podcasts. The first one is Rent or Buy. And really, that was an interesting conversation about property. But the second one is a young man who is in property, who bought his first property at a very young age. And it says, I get agents to take 100% commission. And this is to say that when you invest, become a serial investor, go viral, invest in almost everything, but make sure that you educate yourself, you understand how it works, and you do your own research. This is very important. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Best Finance Show. And make sure that you are always turning on the notification bell so that you never miss an episode where we come through and educate you. And if you've got any other questions or things you want us to cover, please make sure that you send us a message below in the description, and I will cover those questions for you. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon.